Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. If you've ever felt buried under a mountain of dating advice that promises overnight success but leaves you feeling empty, today's video is the antidote you've been waiting for. We're about to dive deep into 7 timeless principles that blend the ancient wisdom of Stoic philosophy with the latest findings from modern attraction science. These aren't cheap tricks or manipulative games. They're habits that reshape how you show up in the world, how you connect with women, and how you develop a magnetic presence that feels completely natural. Stay with me until the end, because the final insight ties everything together and gives you a sustainable edge that lasts a lifetime, not just a single night out. If you enjoy content that helps you become the best version of yourself, go ahead and smash the like button, subscribe, and ring the notification bell so you never miss a video like this. Setting the stage, picture this: you walk into a room, shoulders relaxed, head held tall, a calm steadiness in your voice that makes people sit up a little straighter. That quiet confidence isn't something you fake with flashy pickup lines. It's a reflection of inner stability. When you project that inner steadiness, you're silently telling anyone around you, especially women on a subconscious level, that you have control over your own mind. Women, by nature, gravitate toward partners who appear emotionally stable because stability signals safety and reliability. The Roman Emperor Marcus Aurelius captured this perfectly when he wrote that disturbances arise not from external events, but from the judgments we make about them. By training yourself to pause, breathe, and assess before you react, you cultivate a quiet strength that draws people in without you having to say a word. A simple daily habit that works wonders is a brief breathing exercise. Inhale for 4 counts, hold for 2, exhale for 6. Doing this a few times before any social interaction lowers cortisol, steadies your voice, and makes confidence palpable. The power of listening. Now let's talk about listening, not the kind of half-hearted nodding we all do when we're distracted, but true, active listening. When a woman shares a story, an opinion, or a simple detail about her day, lean in just enough to show you're engaged, mirror her subtle gestures, and sprinkle in brief verbal affirmations like, "I see," or "That's interesting." After she finishes a thought, take a moment to reflect back what you heard in your own words. This practice triggers the release of oxytocin, the bonding hormone, in both of you, creating a feeling of safety and intimacy that goes far beyond surface-level conversation. The Stoic teacher Epictetus reminded us that we have 2 ears and only 1 mouth, encouraging us to listen twice as much as we speak. By honoring that principle, you shift the focus from trying to impress to genuinely understanding, and that shift is magnetic. A practical habit you can adopt is to wait for a breath after she finishes a sentence, then summarize her point before adding your perspective. That tiny pause signals respect and gives the conversation room to breathe, making the exchange feel natural and rewarding. Humor as a bridge. Humor, when used with kindness, becomes an essential bridge between 2 people. A light-hearted joke or a witty observation, delivered at the right moment, can dissolve tension and create a shared positive experience. Laughter activates the brain's reward circuitry, flooding it with endorphins that associate pleasure with your presence. The Stoics recognize joy as a virtue. Seneca wrote that a joyous heart makes any task worthwhile. By allowing yourself to see the lighter side of life and sharing that view, you demonstrate emotional flexibility, a trait that suggests you can handle life's ups and downs gracefully. The key is to keep humor situational and never at the expense of the other person. Comment on something happening around you. A quirky sign on the wall, an unexpected gust of wind, a funny expression on a passerby, and you'll see the conversation lift naturally without coming across as a rehearsed comedian. Purpose and ambition act as invisible magnets that draw people toward you. When you speak about your projects, passions or long-term visions with genuine enthusiasm, you signal that you have direction and are actively shaping your future. This sense of purpose is attractive because it shows that you are not drifting aimlessly. You are driven by values and goals. The Stoic concept of eudaimonia, flourishing through the practice of virtue, mirrors this idea perfectly. When you align your daily actions with a higher purpose, you radiate a quiet determination that women find compelling. To showcase this, weave brief anecdotes about what excites you: a creative pursuit, a community initiative, a personal milestone, into your conversation, allowing the listener to see the spark that fuels you. Your excitement becomes contagious, and that energy pulls others into your orbit. Authentic vulnerability may feel counterintuitive in a culture that glorifies invulnerability, yet it is a cornerstone of deep connection. Sharing a personal challenge, a lesson learned, or a moment of uncertainty signals honesty and self-awareness. Women often appreciate a man who can admit he is a work in progress rather than a polished facade. The Stoics taught that acknowledging our imperfections is the first step toward improvement. By opening up about a recent setback and how you are actively working on it, you demonstrate resilience and humility, qualities that together create an irresistible blend of strength and approachability. This openness invites reciprocity. When you model vulnerability, the other person feels safe to share as well, deepening the emotional bond. Thoughtful touch, physical presence expressed through thoughtful, respectful touch also plays a vital role. A gentle brush of the hand, a light touch on the forearm, or a sincere hug at the right moment can convey warmth and protectiveness without a single word. Touch releases dopamine and reinforces the emotional bond being formed. The Stoic ideal of living in harmony with others finds a tangible expression in considerate touch. Always read the other person's cues, proceed slowly, and ensure that any contact feels natural within the flow of conversation. When you use touch deliberately, it becomes a subtle yet powerful signal of interest and care, deepening the connection without needing to say anything. Relentless growth, the final secret that ties all the previous habits together, is continuous growth. An attractive man is one who never stops learning, refining, and evolving. This commitment to self-improvement signals that you will keep bringing fresh perspectives, new experiences, and renewed energy into any relationship. The Stoics emphasized the practice of daily reflection, reviewing one's actions, identifying areas for improvement, and planning corrective steps. Adopt a nightly journal routine where you recount the day's interactions, note what went well, and outline one small adjustment for tomorrow. This habit sharpens your social skills, deepens your self-awareness, and demonstrates to others that you are dedicated to becoming the best version of yourself. When growth becomes a lifestyle, you radiate confidence, curiosity, and resilience, all qualities that make women feel both comfortable and excited to be around you. Closing thoughts. To recap, the path to making women melt isn't built on flashy moves or manipulative scripts. It's grounded in timeless virtues: calm confidence, deep listening, genuine humor, purposeful ambition, honest vulnerability, considerate touch, and relentless growth. When these 7 Stoic secrets become part of your everyday life, you'll notice not only an increase in attraction, but also a deeper sense of fulfillment in how you relate to the world around you. Continuing the journey, practical application of the 7 Stoic secrets. Imagine you're meeting a new person at a coffee shop on a Saturday morning. You've already internalized that calm, unshakable confidence, so you step in with shoulders relaxed and a gentle smile. You greet the barista with a clear, steady voice, and you notice the tiny ripple of ease that spreads through the room. That subtle shift isn't magic. It's the result of training your nervous system to stay balanced even when the environment is buzzing with conversations and clatter. When the woman you're interested in arrives, You meet her eye for a moment, hold the gaze just long enough to convey interest, then let it soften, allowing space for natural interaction. Now, as the conversation unfolds, you remember the principle of active listening. Instead of planning your next line while she's speaking, you give her the full weight of your attention. You nod lightly, you reflect back the gist of what she's saying, and you ask an open-ended question that invites her to elaborate. For example, if she mentions a recent hike, you might respond, "That sounds amazing. What part of the trail stood out the most for you?" Such a response does two things. It validates her experience, and it signals that you genuinely care about the details of her life. The oxytocin surge that follows deepens the bond in a way that any rehearsed line could never achieve. Humor, when it arrives at just the right moment, becomes the glue that holds the interaction together. You notice a quirky mural on the wall behind you and make a light comment about the artist's bold color choices. The joke is brief, it's situational, and it never targets her personally. Laughter ripples through the conversation, releasing endorphins that make both of you feel lighter, more connected. The atmosphere shifts from formal to relaxed, and the chemistry you're building feels organic rather than forced. Purpose enters the conversation seamlessly when you share a glimpse of the project you've been pouring energy into. A community garden, a new coding course you're teaching, or a personal fitness goal you've set for the coming months. You speak with genuine enthusiasm, describing not just the end result you hope to achieve, but the values driving you forward: sustainability, education, health. This glimpse of ambition paints a portrait of someone who moves through life with intention, and that intention is magnetic. She senses the forward momentum behind your words, and it invites her to imagine what it would be like to share a journey with someone who has clear direction. In the middle of this exchange, a moment of authentic vulnerability naturally surfaces. Perhaps you reveal a recent setback, a missed deadline, a failed attempt at a new skill, or a moment when you felt out of your depth. You speak about how you processed the disappointment, what you learned, and the steps you're taking to improve. This confession isn't a plea for sympathy, it's a demonstration of self-awareness and resilience. Your honesty invites reciprocation, and she may share her own challenges, creating a two-way channel of trust that deepens the connection far beyond superficial small talk. Physical presence, expressed through thoughtful touch, arrives when the conversation naturally leans in. You might lightly place your hand on the back of her chair as you guide her to a better view of a street performer, or you might gently touch her forearm while laughing at a shared observation. The touch is brief, respectful, and perfectly timed, reinforcing the warmth of your words without overwhelming her. The subtle release of dopamine reinforces the emotional bond, making both of you feel more attuned to each other. Throughout the evening, the underlying current is relentless growth. You keep a mental note of moments where you could have listened more deeply, where your humor might have missed the mark, or where confidence wavered. After the date, you sit down with a notebook and jot down 3 observations: what felt natural, what felt forced, and one actionable tweak for the next interaction. This nightly reflection isn't a chore, it's a ritual that sharpens your social instincts, turning each experience into a stepping stone toward a more refined version of yourself. Over weeks, months, and years, this habit compounds, and the attraction you generate becomes less about external tactics and more about the authentic magnetism that comes from continuous self-improvement. Common pitfalls and how to navigate them. Many people mistake confidence for arrogance, turning a calm demeanor into a stiff, overly authoritative stance. The Stoic ideal reminds you that true confidence is rooted in humility, a recognition that you are a work in progress, just like everyone else. If you catch yourself slipping into a monologue, gently steer back to listening, allowing space for her to share. Over-reliance on humor can sometimes mask genuine interest. Keep checking in with yourself to ensure jokes serve the conversation rather than dominate it. Ambition, when spoken without balance, can appear self-centered. Always tie personal goals back to broader values that resonate with universal human experiences. Vulnerability, while powerful, must be shared in appropriate moments. Avoid revealing deep personal wounds on a first meeting. Instead, offer a modest glimpse that invites connection without overwhelming the other person. Frequently asked questions. One question that often comes up is whether these Stoic secrets work across cultural contexts. The answer is yes, because the underlying principles, emotional stability, genuine interest, respectful humor, purposeful direction, honest vulnerability, considerate physical presence, and continuous personal growth, are universally appreciated. Another frequent query concerns the timeline for seeing results. Because the approach is rooted in personal development rather than quick tricks, the shift in how others respond to you can be subtle at first, but becomes increasingly pronounced as you consistently apply the habits over weeks and months. Lastly, many wonder how to balance authenticity with strategic self-presentation. The key is to view the 7 secrets not as a mask you wear, but as a set of habits that amplify the best parts of who you already are, allowing the true you to shine brighter. Bringing it all together, the power of these Stoic secrets lies in their integration. When calm confidence meets genuine listening, humor, purpose, vulnerability, touch, and growth, they reinforce one another, creating a magnetic field that draws women toward you naturally. You no longer need to chase validation through superficial tactics. You become a person whose presence inherently feels safe, stimulating, and rewarding. The attraction you generate is sustainable, rooted in an inner compass that guides you toward meaningful relationships rather than fleeting encounters. Final invitation: if you've taken these ideas into your daily life, you'll notice a shift, not only in how women respond, but in how you feel about yourself. You'll feel steadier, more engaged, and genuinely excited about each interaction. I encourage you to start small. Pick one of the habits, practice it deliberately for a week, and observe the changes. Then add another, building a layered foundation of Stoic attraction that grows stronger with each step. Thank you for staying with me through this extended exploration. If you found this continuation helpful, please like the video, share it with anyone you think could benefit, and subscribe for more deep dives into timeless philosophy applied to modern life. I'd love to hear which habit you're planning to implement first. Drop a comment below and let's start a conversation. Until the next video, keep practicing, stay grounded, and remember that the most attractive version of yourself is the one that aligns mind, heart, and action. See you soon.